Toxic. She call me toxic.
Yeah, I bet.
She call me toxic.
So cliche,
Swear I am not shit.
but I'm not though.
She call me toxic cause I won't simp out. Never get phased or react to a big mouth. She call me toxic.
She call me toxic.
She call me toxic.
Oh wow.
I'm glad you said that because that goes straight into my next topic. So, do y'all think because the NAACP just issued a travel advisory to go to Florida, and luckily we have
Not
someone,
Florida.
well, to not go to Florida, excuse me. And luckily we have someone who is in the great state of Florida on the panel here. Um, I have spoken to many people this past week and a half about this because I wanted insight. So
I got insight on that too for people that stay in Florida right now of
yeah,
different
the
minority groups.
the NAACP is supposed to be for black people. However,
Advancement
when they
of black people.
exactly.
Let's be clear.
However,
Forward move, progress.
when they put this advisory out, they put it out and said black people and the alphabet game.
And minorities.
But yeah,
It-
and
It's in one of the articles I saw, it said minorities as well.
yeah, minorities. When the NAACP isn't for all minorities, it's supposed to
Right.
be for the advancement of black people.
Right. It got
I
muddied somewhere down the line, but yeah.
And what happens when they do things like this is it they conjure up fear. And I've seen this tactic used a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Why do y'all believe that politicians, political parties, and like social justice organizations, why do y'all think that they use fear mongering to get black people to do to follow their agenda?
Money.
Hold on. Hey, Shelby, unmute.
There I go. Sorry, my bullet's crying. It's not even just money. It is money too, but it's not even just money. It's just the simple fact of the matter. This shit been going on with the NAACP before the NAACP became the NAACP. This been going on since Rosa Parks, who they put on the agenda. She looked old. She seemed like she was feeble. Let me sit her on the bus. That way I'll get people riled up and get them in a commotion. Black people don't. The one tool that black people have not learned how to use yet is common fucking sense.
Let's go.
They have not learned how to use logic. They have not learned how to go, let me put two and two together. Because I was just telling Bills earlier, I was just like, I found it funny when the NAACP issued out this warrant because, they were just trying to get everybody to boycott Florida ever since they put that new law into order about the school subjects with African American history. Talk about, we're going to not teach that as much and we're going to take this and that out and we're going to not be able to say gay. So ever since the not say gay, not do this, everything with the NAACP is an agenda. They have an agenda. If I can get black people to do this, then it'll work. But the only thing that's gonna stop black people is fear.
The Orthodox put a big episode. They put a very relevant episode to today's time way back then about but they disguised these things with episode CeeLo, where he was the spokesperson for some shit they made up. But it was for the agenda. And it was talked about behind closed doors within Riley's and them home to do certain things and partner with certain people to make it seem to the public eye like they're hated, they hate each other, but behind closed doors, they had a whole plan on how to get more money for each side, which is why I said it's for money is a bigger part, it's not all of it. But that money is fueling it because now they have different grants, they have different laws, they have different ways to pump more currency into these people's hands that mean no good for our country, but they are being seen to the public eye as if they are what is best for our country.
Alpha, you look like you wanted to say something. Go ahead, man. You got the floor.
Man, so we talking about the Florida thing, right?
Yeah, and just fear mongering in general. You know how like politicians
Well,
and things like that.
our community in this westernized thing, and especially our community, we've been dealing with fear for years, nigga. Not even just from people, from religion, all type of shit. You feel what I'm saying? But it's crazy that we even made that article, like, because who gonna leave? Like, who, like, who gonna fucking leave? You know what I'm saying? But with fear, peripheral, in my eyes, it's just a distraction from something that we're not seeing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, cause a lot of shit be happening behind the scene, but niggas always focus on what's in their face, but not. You gotta get what's from in your face and look behind that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, cause that shit could just be a distraction from they about to send some missiles to fucking India or some crazy shit. You feel what I'm saying? But they don't want you to know that because they gotta push you here. They gotta keep your mentality in the country. Like they gonna want you to go out the country and out your expect and your poverty stricken shit. Like it's a lot of shit with that shit, bro. You know I be on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like especially when it comes to black people and shit like that. But
And to
I don't
piggyback
know.
on,
You know what I'm saying? Like, but we at like when it comes to fear, especially people out power, they tend to take that fear and run with it because they don't know better.
and
Nobody, they're not educated, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like people will look at that article and be scared. Like, why are you scared, bro? Like you got laws, all type of shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like they can't just kick niggas out and shit. So I wouldn't even be worrying about no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Why is this article? That would be my question. What are you hiding? You feel?
and I got a
And
theory. I got a theory with that article to
yeah,
piggyback off of
fear,
that.
like fear to me, I don't fear nothing but nature, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Mother nature. That's all I fear. Because the earth decided to cleanse itself from this virus, it's going to cleanse itself from this virus, my nigga. We are the virus. That's what niggas need to be fearing. Instead of worrying about what these white folks talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck them crackers.
And
But
true,
black people stuck in a crab in a barrel mentality, so we're not gonna get anywhere. Like black people don't, they choose not to learn.
Yeah, they
and
don't learn.
truthfully,
They don't go out and spec.
what
You know
I
what I'm
think,
saying?
I think that because of course, all right, everybody's familiar with the Tulsa bombing massacre.
Yes.
Yeah.
Familiar with. Now, of course, way back then, we didn't have the sources, the outlets to discuss and try and understand what may have brought or built up to what caused the bombing. Even though we all know it was basically hatred and jealousy of prosperous black folk, we know that. And I truly think that when they erased that entire city of what was going to damn near be Wakanda, I think I feel like maybe this was part of what happened before then. We all know history repeats itself. This could have been a few steps. Who's to say there wasn't a city in Florida or even a few cities in Florida that could
Rosewood.
have possibly been trying to get to that same level of what Tulsa was before it happened? And this is a way of discouraging that. This is a way of, like we said, fear mongering. This is how they're going to cause, this is how they're going to keep from Tulsa recreating itself in a much bigger area with much more prominence of black folk and opportunities to where they may have thought Florida might have been completely taken over and Florida could have been the very first response. And this could be their way of trying to discourage that. And I feel like that's where it's headed. I feel like this was the distraction to keep it from happening. Maybe there was a group uh, of young black people who were possibly getting ready to make some type of big move down there to where they can bring more black people in that's like minded. Like we've all seen more and more 10 and 12 and 13-year-old geniuses that are graduating middle school with college degrees,
Yes.
young children that are reinventing several different ways for us to have a much better lifestyle at the age of 7. And this could have been a safe haven that was getting ready to happen. And now is NAACP having their own hidden agenda, could have possibly gotten wind of that, and they said, well, we're going to discourage black folk from coming here. We're going to discourage minorities from coming here. We're going to discourage the LGBT community from coming here. Who's to say?
I can see where you're going with that, because it does seem like anytime somebody melanated or whatever does go to make a big move, that want to buy up something, that want to do something, it always seems like something that tragically happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like
what's his name? The dude that got killed when Obama was in office. He was about to open the bank up. They was propaganding him as if he was like a killer, evil person, and the whole time they were just trying to off his head because he was about to open the bank up, which would make black people.
What was it, Gaddafi?
Africa, the income. Yeah, there you go.
You're talking about Gaddafi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sources of all the sources is gonna be in the bank, and he was gonna be able to control all that and be able to do for the people. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Had to get rid of him.
What happened?
We gonna say he killed people. We gonna do all this. They're gonna make you believe their agenda. That's why you gotta look past the audit. You know what I'm saying?
I might get some hate for this one, but the Bill Cosby, because soon as Bill Cosby was about to buy, now all of a sudden people, and when I read, it's funny, I read up some of the side effects of the drugs, and a lot of that is memory loss, and a whole lot of different stuff. But you mean to tell me these women can remember explicitly what happened?
Because they want drugs.
No, I was gonna watch it. You could just if you
They want drugs.
watch it.
Those women wanted that shit. They wanted to have fun, and they seen the possibility, or they talked to their family members of the possible negative outcomes dealing with Bill Cosby at that day and age. They said, "Yeah, I'm gonna find a way out of this. I'm gonna Emmett Till this motherfucker." That's what they tried to do.
And it backfired because the law is the law. And this is why I encourage brothers and sisters, learn the law, because the law is the law.
Please do not be ignorant of the law.
Too bad they are.
To me, I got an opinion on this fear mongering thing. And I think it goes back to agendas. See, what happens is we have a lot of power in this country and we don't realize it.
Yep.
We're the biggest consumers.
Yep.
We're the most influential.
Yep.
And we have a lot of political power if we would actually come together and take this shit serious. What happens is the left uses fear mongering on us to get us to vote for them. So what happens is any Republican who takes a stand on this woke inclusion, super liberal, basically what the governor down there is doing is he is basically getting rid of these books that are in these schools that have two mommies and two daddies. Or, he's getting rid of a lot of propaganda books. And remember, last part I told y'all, the Obama administration is the administration that actually made propaganda legal. So that's why it's been rampant the past 10 years. And what's going on is there are some school districts who are taking it a little overboard, but the law in itself, because I website and read every word of what these bills are saying.
And what it say?
It's pretty vague, but they're not anti-black. I'm gonna tell you what they are. They're anti-alphabet gang and anti-wokeism, and that is a problem for the left because the left builds their political campaigns on right bad, left good, right evil, left good. I don't trust either side, me personally. But if you keep pointing the finger at somebody, what are you trying to divert my attention from?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where
Exactly.
you gotta watch, because I don't even know if y'all seen the article recently. Black Lives Matter. Remember how we talked about why I don't mess with them because they're
Let's go.
anti-black dad?
Let's
Man,
go.
I'm
Black
still trying to
Lives
figure out
Matter.
them families in that mansion. What they at though?
Well, they not about to live in that mansion soon because Black Lives Matter is in a lot of financial trouble. Coins ain't coming in like they used to. So I guess what Candace Parker and them did work because they're losing money now. So people are not falling for the
Candace
facade.
Owens.
Yeah, Candace Owens, Lord have mercy. Fast shout out to NBA champion Candace Parker. I'm sorry. I'm on Ray and nephew, okay? I'm on Ray and nephew. But yeah, I guess what Candace Owens did work because this country, I don't even consider it a country. This is just one giant business.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know what
Yep.
is going on, look for the money. Everything is money driven.
Every time.
Yep.
We learned that
Yep.
from The Wire.
Yep.
No, I ain't even gonna hold you. You know what?
Follow the money.
You know what made me figure it out? You know, America is driven off of money, and it is gonna be kind of a little bit funny watching Hamilton because they set a part inside of that musical. They said nobody knows what happened in the room where it happened.
Mm.
And when I say that might have skipped over a lot of people's head, but you got to realize something. Don't nobody know those laws from a lot of people who held political office. It's a lot of laws and documentation and a lot of stuff that has gone missing that only certain people of a certain standard. I'm talking Rockefellers. I'm talking, they know.
Rothschilds. Like
Yep.
that. Yeah.
And then
This
when
is
it comes to
true.
the fear mongering, I think, well, I know it's done because you get a knee-jerk reaction out of people, and when they realize what's done, it's too late.
Yep.
Because they moved out of fear, and what's done is done. And then it's like when everybody calms down, and like with the whole gas thing, everybody started panicking about gas. They caused fear. It wasn't that the gas was actually running out or anything like that. It was the fact that everybody went to the gas stations, drained all the gas stations, couldn't keep up with the demand that caused the shortage on gas. Like the fear of it, we ended up causing the issue ourselves. So it caused a knee-jerk reaction. And it was funny because I think the people who hijacked the system wanted like, I don't know, 30 million or something ridiculous like that. And it's like money always goes missing in these things. Like, okay, we pay this much and part of the money goes somewhere else. So fear mongering is just to get a reaction out of people. So you get what you want initially, and then by the time they really figure out what's going on, it's too late to reverse
Too late.
whatever it
Yep.
is.
Hey,
Yep.
Down here in
just like
Florida,
Alvin
And
said, I feel like fear mongering and fear. Well, I'm sorry, fear mongering and being just uneducated go hand in hand.
hand in hand, yeah, because you scared of
Mm-hmm.
everything when you don't know
Yeah.
what's going on. And down
Yeah, because
here,
when you ain't willing to learn, you always be scared.
yeah, I sent
Exactly.
Bills the points in the African American AP study course. That's what it is. It's a advanced placement, so like a college course that happens in high schools of African American studies. And I sent him the points that DeSantis pointed out as areas of concern. And even as a Black person who feels like our true history should be taught, I wouldn't want that in the schools. When you read it, it's like all they say is, oh, he didn't want African American AP course in the schools. They don't tell you what was in there when they're telling it on the news and all of that stuff. So you have to go, first of all, we have to go start to find these things out for ourselves. Well, what's in it then? When you go read it for yourself, I'm pretty sure everybody on this podcast right now be like, well, why does that need to be taught? That's Black queer history
Reading
is
is
not
fundamental.
African American history.
Yeah,
Like,
I seen that shit
you know
too.
what
I
I'm saying?
said,
It's
what?
in
yeah,
there. Black feminism is not African American history. It's not even African history. That's not. It's
uh,
not. So why is that kind of stuff being put in there? They also, what else is he doing? The census won't allow China to buy any land here in Florida. Any Chinese. Because what we're not talking about is how Joe Biden is allowing tons and tons and acres and acres and acres of land to be purchased by the Chinese, but the Chinese are supposed to be the #1 enemy of the United States right now. How is that possible? How is that happening? They buying up all the land that we use to cultivate our food and all of those things. And so, not that I'm on his side in particular, but I'm just learning to, okay, this is what the news says. So let me go find out what is actually going on. Like, let me go find the actual documentation, because all this stuff is public record. We can look it up if we want to. Black people are extremely emotional, and they know that. They know that if you there's definitely trigger words that go off in the news and in the media and stuff like that that get us all up in arms. One of the things I was just telling Bills, I was like, I really need to start checking out Candace Owens, because although she rubs a lot of people the wrong way, the one thing I noticed that she consistently does is debunk a lot of Black people bullshit. Like, a lot of the things that she goes after to get to the bottom of, it just reveals that it's not to dismiss the overall systemic racism that goes on, but she's going to say that, see, Black people, this is other Black people picking up the torch in oppression of their own people, right? She starts taking away the excuses that we've had for a very long time. And she says stuff like, look, like one of the videos that Bill sent, the Black dude was saying that men can give birth. And she
Ridiculous.
was like, no, just because this woman identifies as a man, she's still a woman, and she still gives birth because she got ovaries, a uterus, and everything that's required to have a child. That doesn't mean men can have children. So when I watched that video a while back, because actually all the videos he sent, I saw them already, and had time to think about it, she's the person that's like, okay, well, Black people, y'all own worst enemy, because y'all keep falling for the bullshit, y'all keep falling for the okie dokie, keep making excuses, and she goes out and she seeks the truth behind it. So I'm not saying she's perfect, because I do know she have her moments, but watching her go after Black Lives Matter and get to the bottom of the stuff is like, you know what? We need to start unraveling a lot of this stuff for ourselves. It's a lot of stuff that white people don't have to do no more, because we done took it over. We didn't put organizations in place. We didn't put people in places and things like that. So getting back to what Bills was saying about Governor DeSantis being down here, I saw it. I was surprised that was the article. Like, don't come down here. First of all, I know people from up north been coming to Florida for years. I grew up here. So people
Hey,
who
look,
retiring from up north, they all coming down here. What they call them,
my
the snowbirds.
my
Um,
my favorite rapper, he just had a birthday. What's up, Jada Kiss? One of
mhm.
his famous lines is "Gangsters don't die; they get chubby and move to Miami."
Move to Miami, move to Florida. So it's just a tactic to, first of all, both parties don't do nothing for us yet. And like Bill said, our political power is immense once we actually learn to use it. But that's another discussion. But here in Florida, they're twisting everything. Like, of course, the NAACP is going to jump on that bandwagon, because, first of all, the NAACP is a bunch of old people. Time for them to get out them seats. It's time for some fresh blood, fresh ideas, fresh ambition and vigor that can actually get some stuff done. These people, just like in I saw this video that said we don't trust 60 and 70 and 80-year-olds to drive, but that's all that's in Congress right now.
Word.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like those are the
Make it
people
make sense.
we don't trust them to get behind the wheel, because they're not cognizant, they running into buildings and stuff like that. But these are people making the laws or stopping the laws, stopping it. They run in the country. What they need to drive a car for? You know what I'm saying? So down here, we just as a people, we need to read. As a people, we need to stop being so emotional. I made a post about this on Facebook a while back. I think Bill's actually reposted it, because we're too emotional and they can say anything and get us hyped up. If we stop reacting so much, we can actually start getting stuff done and wield the power that we have. Ain't nothing wrong with come down here, Florida, if you want. I mean, it's been a crazy state for the longest time, way before all of that. But
Yeah.
nobody asked
Exactly.
why he
Right.
turned it down. Why he wouldn't let it get passed through, because of the stuff that was in. And this is what Congress does as a whole. If you remember, it took a long time for the anti-lynching law, the Emmett Till anti-lynching law, to get passed. Right? On the surface, you would be like, well, why the hell wouldn't you pass the anti-lynching law? Why didn't they want to pass a bill to stop the lynching of Black people? On the surface, everybody's in an uproar because, oh, clearly y'all want to keep lynching Black people if you don't want to pass a law to stop lynching Black people. The issue is when you read these things, they have so much other stuff. It's a bulk legislation. So
Yeah.
the big thing might be anti-lynching, but then it got super funding for the police, legalizing this, unlegalizing that. There's a whole lot of stuff in it. And so when you read the whole thing, it's like there's some things you just can't let slide. So you have to veto the whole thing. And then when they veto the whole thing, oh, they vetoed the Emmett Till anti-lynching law. They don't say that they veto, making it mandatory to steal Black women's placentas for melanin and DNA research. They don't tell you that
Right.
They
part.
ain't putting that out there.
Right.
Exactly. So Black people are in an uproar because what do you
They
mean
see
you're
the
not
face.
passing an anti-lynching law? When in actuality, they might be saving us from 6 other things. It don't make them no savior. It's just that those are the things that can't pass. So this can't pass either because this is the guise that they're using to try to pass all the other bullshit under, which is what's happening with that African American AP course. So that's all you're hearing. Oh, he's anti-Black, he's anti-minority, or Florida is anti-Black, anti-minority, because they won't pass this in the schools. But when you actually look what's in it, any parent, I won't say in their right mind, because there are parents that are sympathetic and accept that stuff, which is fine. But the majority of parents are not going to they're going to be like, why does my child need to know about, the black queer history? Like, what is that? First of all, where did that come from? You know what I'm saying? So
Colonizer.
never heard of it. So it's something new. So that's why he shut it down, but they're not going to say that. And now you got the NAACP jumping on this bandwagon. And what has the NAACP done in however many years?
I know. They let Rachel Dozel, they let her. So
And my thing, we're gonna have to get up off of Rachel Dozer, because I know she did her little dirt, but Rachel Dozer was dedicated to the cause, and she done
oh
more
no, she was.
than a
But I'm
lot of actual Black
But
people.
you,
And
but
then here's the thing: when they found her out, kicked her out, she stayed true to it. She's like, I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. This is me. She went and started braiding hair. She went and did everything. She still considers herself a Black woman. So she ain't fold like, oh, you got me. I was using it for money. I was doing this, that, and the third. She was committed. Got to give her that. She more committed than people who got it rightly.
but my thing is this: it takes a real narcissistic person to build an empire as such as she did, because you have to be a real. Because granted, a round of applause, you made some stuff happen, but to make it happen because you wanted praise, because you wanted money,
Exactly.
because you wanted attention, you got to be some kind of egotistical, narcissistic son of a bitch. How do you sleep at night knowing you basically got your fame and you got your from the tears of grieving mothers, fathers, sisters, kids, cousins, children who will never see their parent again? But that's what you build your fame off of. And I'm sorry, I feel like it's a slap in the face. Yeah, I'm still a Black woman. It's no, don't try to be that now. Okay, you braiding hair, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Nah, bitch. Nah.
This is America.
I have no
well,
sympathy. I have no
here's the
sympathy,
thing.
no sorrow. Shit, I ain't even got a nickel to give her. I hope she get everything that she deserves, and she needs to seek help because she's a severe narcissist. Her and that's down here. I done got blocked from all of his pages for telling him about himself.
But what I'm gonna say is Rachel Dozel, she wants to be a Black woman, but so does most of the country.
These dudes too.
Every woman wants to be a Black woman. Ironically, except for most Black women, but save that topic for another day. I appreciate you two wonderful sisters coming up here with your, in your natural essence, just displaying the natural beauty, but
Black queens. Black queens.
but yeah, I just, this fear mongering, I'll say this, they can say, oh, this person is bad, this person is this. The one time I was outraged and upset at what a politician said, and I quote, if you don't vote for me, are you even Black?
Let's go.
Mm.
Let's talk about it. Let's go.
Boy.